This includes personal characteristics, career goals, and what you can offer in return for this position. And this is a place you can shine basically by showing that you're really interested in that position by researching it. School information include the full name of your university, as well as the name of the entire degree, plus any majors. For example, the Bachelor of Science, and the major would be in biology. Include your GPA and expected month and year of graduation. You can also include any relevant coursework, basically that are applicable to the research field that you're trying to enter. And in this case, you can add in lab classes as well. Exposure to lab techniques are important. And for example, biolabs, microbiolabs, chemistry labs, organic chemistry labs, all of those can be valuable experiences that you can count, even if you might not think they are, but they do give you like a good foundation that most of researchers or PIs look for. And then you can also include future coursework, sometimes that you might not be taking right now, but usually these PIs are looking for classes for these research students a few semesters in advance. So it's completely fair to include future courseworks. For example, you might be not taking a lab until next semester, but you have the opportunity is for the summer semester. So during that spring semester, you catch up, and then by the summer semester, you have all the information you need. So you can include that in your resume. The second category is research experience. So include any prior labs that you have been a part of, including the position, the undergraduate as an undergraduate researcher, the department, and the duration. But you might be asking yourself, what if you don't have any prior labs? And that's okay, since some of us are still in the first or second year, sometimes even the third year, you might not have that exposure, but that's not to worry. As an entry-level undergrad, you can list experiences with transferable skills to help they can apply to research. Once you accumulate your research experiences, you can always prioritize them when applying to new research positions. For example, like if you've done like volunteering at the Shands, you can prioritize that if you're applying to somewhere that they want more than likely biomedical researchers. Three, other experiences. So if you don't have any prior research experiences, don't fret, you can include other activities such as club activities. Oftentimes you're a leadership position, that shows a lot, like if you can lead a group of students on a project, often PIs look for that. Volunteering, often exposure to other relevant fields, not just science and math, but other fields, that also shows that you're a well-rounded candidate. Or service, like just out of the good of your heart, you like helping other people, and that could be very good on the resume. Employment, it shows that you have time commitments and you know how to be responsible. Sports, so you're teamwork and you can collaborate with other people, or you can be a tutor or a teacher assistant, and it shows intellectual interest and a group mindset, as well as you're excelling at that specific field. And just listing them isn't enough. Descriptions are key. And a prior experience means nothing if you don't describe your responsibilities that you've done and the skills that you have gained from this experience that are transferable to what you're gonna do now. Conversely, even the smallest of things can be significant if you know how to connect it to the position you're applying for. Also remember that your resume is not universal. Be sure to tailor it to each specific research position that you're applying for. So some examples are 2 semesters of experience at a very prestigious lab as a research assistant compared to 1 summer spent as a summer counselor at the YMCA. Well, off the bat, the 2 semesters of experience oftentimes looked as the better option. Like if you have a choice between 2 students and one of them has 2 semesters experience, was it the 1 summer? Obviously the 2 semesters is going to look good. However, the descriptions, if that 2 semester student describes that position as just doing research and learned about the brain and learned about research, that's not very descriptive at all. Compared to that 1 summer spent, you can, the way they describe it as, I learned how to lead team efforts, mediate conflicts, and inspire my campus to participate in every activity. That looks better since you have goals that you set out and accomplish, whereas the first one looks you did a more passive approach to what your tasks that you've been given. And then finally, additional information. You can include any other information that you believe will advance your position as a candidate. Academic achievements, merits, national merits, SAT scores, honors in any scholars program. Hard skills, these can include practical skills from lab techniques, such as Excel, coding certifications, SolidWorks. Oftentimes you can include, like you've learned in the general chemistry labs, going back to that, you can say like titrations, calorimetries, you know how to use like pH paper, all of that. And then soft skills, these are personal qualities that influence your work, such as creativity or integrity, but just be sure to back them up with real world examples, like tie them back to what you mentioned in the prior sections. And then some key takeaways is that everything you include in your resume is a reflection of your values and capabilities. Even the smallest thing, such as a misspelled word, can impact your professionalism and perceived interest in the position. So be sure to perfect your resume, but you shouldn't be worried because all of us are here to help each other make that the best resume that you can present.
So now that we know a little of what needs to be in a resume, we're going to talk about how it should look. So it is a professional document, so it should be as professional as possible, and it should be really, really easy to see your experience, your qualifications, your skills, the reasons why you should be hired. Also, it should be really easy to read. You don't want your information spread all over the page. You want someone to be able to look at your resume and immediately see who you are as a candidate. You also should be straightforward and make sure that your syntax and your grammar are as correct as possible. Like Edward said, if you have spelling mistakes or there are grammatical mistakes throughout, it's really going to reflect poorly on your interest and your dedication. So another thing is to stay away from brightly colored resume templates because they are very, very pretty sometimes. And it's really tempting to choose to use one of those to make your resume stand out. But also a lot of times you get into the difficult position of they're pretty, but they don't showcase your information very well. They don't give you enough room to put all of the things on your resume that you'd want to put there. So make sure you don't fall into that trap. So we put a couple links here, and this presentation will be on our website, so you will be able to access it later. But we have a couple websites where you can find free templates. So here's one. So you can see there are a few different templates here. They're all free to download, and they all are a little bit different. They have things structured differently that you can help match more to your personality and to what you're applying for, but they're all still very professional. They're very simple. They're not 5 different colors. They're easy to read. There's also this website where you see similar things where they're pretty toned down, but they're still a little interesting. And the focal point is the applicant and their information. So, but you do have some personal freedom with what you do, especially in the layout. So you want to lay things out to where the most important things can be clearly identified and they are the focus. So you can see on this example on the right, their contact information, their name, they're all very easy to find. Though the big thing is to, even if you find a layout that you think is very pretty, that you think works well, if it doesn't show your content well, it's not going to be the right choice for you. Your content should be the priority. And when you're in doubt about if something's a little too much on your resume, going simple is better. It's a safer choice. So you can see on the left, here's another example of a resume we have. So it's a professional resume. There's no frills. It's very easy to read and it's straightforward. The one big critique on it would be, even though the sections are very easily seen, there is a lot of dead space on the left side. So consider using that space more wisely. Like we said before, the descriptions of your past experiences are really, really important. It shows your ability to reflect critically on your actions, on what you've learned, and gives whoever's reading your resume a better idea of what skills you have and what you've gained from prior experiences. So consider using that space for more descriptions or adding more information about what makes you the best candidate. So now we're going to have Sydney talk about some examples.
Yep. So I'm just going to go ahead and steal your screen. So now that we got a really nice introduction to the different components of a resume, we'll be looking at a couple of examples. And since we're doing so good on time, if you ever want to unmute yourself and voice an opinion about what you think is wrong with these examples, feel free to jump in. So first of all, let's look at some personal information. Faith decided to submit her resume. She used her personal email, and her personal objective is that she's looking for a lab, any lab. She just wants to go to med school. Here's some things that she's done. Does anybody see anything wrong with this?
There's firstly, her email address is a little bit funny. But she's also the intro sentence does not express interest in laboratory. She's more interested in getting into med school than she is to the lab. So that makes anyone who's looking at it think, oh well, she's not going to be very passionate in the laboratory. She's not going to be able to do things as yeah.
Yeah, no, Christopher, you were spot on. You got every point we wanted to make. So yes, it was an unprofessional. It was a personal email. That's bad. You should always use your university email when you do, and you should also have some form of alternative contact information in case your computer catches on fire. Also, Christopher mentioned the objective doesn't give basically any oversight of the applicant's actual aspirations. There's no personal investment in the position that they're actually looking for. So if we were to look at a better example of this resume, we've done Faith the favor of blocking out her personal information, but she did in fact include her phone number as well as a more personal Gmail, although you should use your university email. And her objective really did show that she was interested and invested. She portrayed herself as a motivated student with a strong work ethic, and she just really wants to cultivate her people skills and leadership ability. It also goes into her academic interests in chemistry and Spanish, as well as her career goals as well. So again, you use your university email. You can use your local address, doesn't hurt, but might be oversharing, and a good objective. All right, let's move on to our next section, education. We've got some academic fields listed on the left. We've got a school and a GPA, but is there anything we could improve upon on this section?
Could specify like if you're majoring in biology and Spanish, or if one of them is a minor or major.
Yeah, no, Daniel, that's a great point. And one we definitely wanted to bring up. Here at UF, at least, the biology major is offered by 2 separate departments. And also, I mean, no one knows what this is. Is it a major? Is it a minor? Is it a hobby? Who knows? Along with that, you should tend to scale your GPA. Oh, yep. And you should tend to scale your GPA. So here's an example of a better section for education. As you can see, we have listed out the degree and major. You definitely always want to include Bachelor of Science, Bachelor of Arts, whatever it is. You should also include your university as well as the department that it's offered in. As you can see, the GPA is scaled, and as we previously talked about, relevant coursework is listed. This definitely gives you an edge because, especially if you have no prior research experience, having just basic background knowledge in, say, neuroscience, if you're applying to a pharmacy lab, is extremely helpful. So now we'll look at an example of a research experience section. Here we have someone who is an undergraduate researcher. They researched plants and antibiotics, and they got some good skills and some lab techniques. How could we make this better?
It's a bit non-specific.
Yeah, that's great. Edwater, that was exactly what we were getting at, was that there's no meaningful description like we talked about, and we don't really know what you did because there are no responsibilities listed. Also, the period is not actual proper resume grammar. Since the description isn't a full sentence, you shouldn't end it with a period. So if we were to fix this, it might look a little something like this, mainly emphasizing those descriptions. As you can see, there's a comprehensive description of that research project's goal. So looking at the effect of agricultural practices on antibiotic resistance. Super fancy, makes you sound way more professional in that pursuit. And as you see, there's also a list of personal responsibilities. So lab techniques, data analysis software, administrative duties, anything you actually do in the lab that a PI could use you for. You can also list any poster presentations or research seminars that you have participated in for this part of the lab. And since we're all relatively new to research, we can also put alternative experiences, especially if they can be connected to the research position. So here someone has listed their leadership experience as being a teaching assistant. This one's a bit like our other example. As you can see, did group projects, got experience, did this often. The main thing being here is you don't want to be passive in your descriptions, and you don't want to be vague either. You should really make your descriptions work for you, as well as some more grammatical tips. I've seen people use I statements in resumes, but I think as a general rule of thumb, you should always begin with like an action word such as led, coordinated, directed, organized, things that really like catch the attention as to your qualifications. So here's an example of how we could improve this section. Now we see we're a bit more specific and clear in our description of our responsibilities, and we use better words because we are college students and we are adults, and we have a good command of the English language. So here's another different example, because we did talk about that variety of other experiences you could have. So as you could see for this one, those descriptions are really good. We talked about the time commitment. That's always a good thing to include, if it's bi-weekly, monthly, things like that. You can see we used action sentences, collaborated, upheld, experiences, not did and got. And we also included some skills that were gained through the experience that can hopefully be connected to the position you're applying for now. All right, so for our last section, we've got our additional information section. So here our applicant has listed that they are hardworking, they are leadership, they are intelligent, and they also won their 5th grade spelling bee. They're great at writing, they've got some good lab techniques. They seem like they're a great applicant, but what could we do to help them improve a little bit more?
I would think be more specific. I mean, the 5th grade spelling bee, I guess that's specific, but it's 5th grade, so it's a little bit removed from who you are now. But I don't know, I'd hire the 5th grade spelling bee winner, but I don't know about y'all, but
I mean, so would I for my B lab. So once again, Christopher, right on the dot. We did talk about how we wanted our soft skills to be more specific. If you say something, it shouldn't just come out of the blue. If your whole resume is focused on how you are, let's say, a creative individual, and you put something like analytical as your soft skill, that doesn't portray you as a consistent person. And like Christopher said, merit should be recent and relative. If you're a college freshman, you can include things from high school on your resume, but really once you're a sophomore, you should only be including university experiences on your resume. And then finally, you should definitely use certifications for your hard skills. So if you're good at computer coding, maybe you did it in R or Python or some other different coding language. If you did a lab technique, like Edward mentioned earlier, titrations or using a pipette, which is surprisingly marketable. If you're good at writing, maybe you're Microsoft Word certified or something else like that. Maybe you won an award for writing scientific literature because you're amazing. We don't know unless you back up your hard skills with certifications. So here we have it fixed a little bit. As you can see, they did include certifications as well as more specific elements to their hard skills. And we added a little caveat for languages. You can definitely include language as a technical skill. And then just like a little pro tip, if you want to include your level of proficiency as well, this is definitely beneficial because maybe your PI hired you because you put Spanish, but you have a very limited working knowledge of it. So we don't want to end up in any situations like that. And then finally, if you do want to include honors and distinctions, that's great. You know, show the world how smart you are because you earned it. And hopefully they're also relevant to that position you're applying for. So here's an example of a section with soft skills. In this case, as you can say, each of these skills would in fact refer to somewhere else in the resume, you know, and they're not just single word descriptions. Experience at working with the general public, of course, there would be very solid evidence for that if, you know, one of your experiences was being a cashier or being in customer service. So like we said, soft skills can be used very well, but it is an art to using them properly. I'm gonna pass it back over to Edward really quick so he can explain our activity.
Okay, so for this, we're doing a workshop. I'm gonna post the link since just in case like you guys don't have access to the PowerPoint. I'm gonna post the link in the chat, and that should. Let me see if we can do it. Yeah. Okay. So click on this link, and it'll take you to a Google Drive. And here we're gonna divide you into groups, into breakout rooms in this case, and we're gonna do a competition to see who can improve the resume the most and spot all of the things that are not like the best for looking to like turn into a PI. Then with your group, you're going to decide what's going to fix, like focus on your layout, components of a resume, and grammar. And then after 10 minutes, we'll call you back to a main session, and you shouldn't be too worried about it. It's something like fun and simple. And if we get stuck, like we'll be circling around in the breakout rooms. So it'll be hopefully a fun activity for everyone, you know, team building.
So I'm going to launch the breakout rooms now. You'll see move to breakout room, whatever number, and then you will see on that link that Edward sent out that there are different numbered docs. And so just match the number on the doc to the number of your breakout room.
Hello.
Camera is found. Nice, nice.
This is ridiculous to get.
So, what are words? The main presentation has ended. Right now, people are working on a like group activity.
Okay.
So either you can chill out here, I guess, or you can pick a number 1 through 10, and I can stick you in a breakout room.
Resume activity. Oh my God, this is so much. Is there anyone who, like any group that has less people? How many people came?
Like 45 or so. Someone's asking for help, so away I go.
Them.
Hello, hello.
What the heck is going on?
Oh no. Okay.
Yeah, so yeah, we can't edit. We have to download the document in order to edit it, and that means only one person can edit at a time.
Okay. Well, that should not have happened. Let me look.
I think it's probably because it's a Word doc that was uploaded to Google Doc.
Instead of a yeah.
So
Yeah.
what you guys can do is have one of you guys screen share it, and then you can work on it together, because anyone should be able to screen share. So
Yeah, we just won't be able to write on it. Like only one person will be able to write.
yeah.
Hey. I mean, I got it, like, but I can change this right now.
So for me, when I go, can you show me where you got it in the drive? So, okay, because maybe it's because you're not signed into an account. Because
I think I'm also not signed into an account, but
I mean,
because when I open up that file, I can edit it just through Google Docs.
I mean, give me a second to stop sharing and sign in. See if that helps. Okay, so yeah, it looks like, oh, the format wildly changed. Group 1 got it together. All right, yeah, you have to be signed in, is what I learned here. So that might be something that's worth announcing. Or you just have to get there else, like somehow else. I don't know, but wish I didn't have to freaking do this in Google Docs. I know how to change the color of a document in Word.
Okay, well, I'm going to circulate call for help if any other issue arises. We have our chemistry club president, Catherine, in the call.
hello.
Hey, boo.
I had a whole time.
Catherine has run a resume workshop or two before, so
Dude, I have.
It was also like my chem buddy, like last year.
Last year we were mentor mentee.
wow. How is it going in here with you two? Three.
It's
Good
going.
so far, yeah.
That's good. I saw you guys are room 1, right? I saw that you guys are one of 2 groups to have changed the background color so far.
Yeah, it was just a lot of purple. I
Yeah.
don't know if that was a style choice, but
So far it's looking good, you guys.
Mm.
Hello guys, how are you guys doing in here?
All right. Do you by any chance know how to get rid of like the purple background?
You go to File and then Page Setup.
Ah,
I'm glad you knew this. 'Cause
I had to Google it. So
there we go.
I'm Googling computer science courses so I can find more relevant things to add.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be good. Well, it seems like you guys are working away, so you can always call for help and I will appear.
Okay.
Oh wait, were you typing spring?
Hello, everyone. How is editing going here?
Definitely going.
I will say, you guys, I believe, were the first group to get rid of the purple background.
We thought it wasn't colorful enough.
Yeah, we did.
Wow, from what I can see from the preview, your resume is looking so much better.
Problem is, I don't think I've ever used Google. No, I used it once before about a week ago. So I really
A learning curve. Well, if you guys
Yeah.
need help, you can always call for help. Hello, everyone. How is the editing going here?
We can't figure out how to make it not purple in the background.
Wait, I just figured it out. Ah,
Oh,
Google for the win. Yes.
that looks so much better.
Wow, it's insane how much of a difference that makes. Okay, yeah, it's going pretty well.
Glad you guys figured it out. No, that's been a common issue between groups. Anyhow, if you guys need any advice of what to change or having any issues, you can always call for help and I will appear.
Can we just like add random skills that we think might be relevant to
Go
it?
for it. I'm not going to tell you otherwise. If your fake candidate has the skills, they should be on there.
You're right. You're right. Thank you.
How are you guys doing?
Oh,
It's a lot to edit.
yeah, a lot.
There is, yeah. Let me see what you guys have so far.
We're working on the objective and everything right now. I'm just trying to like think about what to put.
Hello, Rebecca.
Wow.
I came to see what Group 5 was doing too.
Well, there's already looks much better than what they got. I've noticed a common issue is people not knowing how to change the document color.
Yeah.
Just a comment on how beautiful it was that it was still purple.
Dual tone masterpiece.
Maybe I can find. I don't think I can find it either.
If you go to File and Page Setup, it is there. If you guys wish to change the color.
Yeah. Okay. No, thanks, man.
Instantaneously better.
Yeah.
We had a couple groups say that the flipped text was Russian.
Oh my god. Wow.
Oh my goodness.
Anyhow, wow, yes, it looks much better. It's looking good, you guys. Keep up with the good work.
Oh, also Rebecca, how long did we want to do this until?
I was gonna go until at least all of the resumes weren't purple.
This is a good idea. And plus, all we have left is like rest of Mixer plug. So I agree. Maybe like 7:25-ish.
You guys can find out all the other fun events that are happening.
Little pluggy plug.
Full plug.
Stick around.
Tomorrow's event has many resources for finding research. So
Okay.
I'm gonna go rescue Group 7.
I go see what Group 9 is up to.
Hello.
Boom.
Hello.
Got it. Ah, it's white.
Oh, I was coming and I was like, I need to help these kids.
So where was that?
It's
File.
page setup.
see, where's page setup?
Wow, I looked at it. It looks
Here we go. Yeah.
many better, so much better than it did.
Yeah. Where do we put the like certification? Oh my god, wait, I have an idea. Oh wait, let me flex on you for a second. Java. It's the only other coding language I know. Do people still use Java?
No.
I mean, a lot of people do use Java. I mean, it's just a powerful language.
Python.
Python is very popular too. Yeah.
I tried to learn Python myself. Completely failed. I gave up after like Hey World.
Hey World? What's that?
Because it's like when you learn to like print something, it's always like parentheses. Why am I blanking?
Apostrophe.
Quotation mark. Quotation mark. Hey World. Quotation mark.
Oh, you mean the Hello World?
I coded a 4-function calculator, and then tried to make it do like some like basically everything you could find on a 4-function, like I don't know, exponents and stuff. And it annoyed me deeply.
Wait, were these rooms like pre-planned or like just random?
No, I split them into 20.
I love it. Mar's my student.
2047.
Oh,
yeah.
Rebecca was also a 2047 survivor. Keyword on survivor.
Yeah, I mean, I'm barely surviving already with all this homework.
Stop. She's a very good student, okay? Don't listen to her. She's a very good student. I love her dearly. She's also my discussion. Oh, reminder, we have discussion this week.
Yep.
I feel like we haven't had it in a very long time.
I mean, we didn't have it last week, so.
Yeah, but I feel like I haven't seen you guys like in a very long time.
That's what one day break does.
Well, technically 2 days for Thanksgiving because like Wednesday and Thursday.
That's true. That's true.
Woo! Good job, Jacob. Now you have a better resume than whatever. Let me tell you, when that thing came on the screen, I was like, Jesus. Oh wait, can I show what my old resume looked like? Do we have time?
Done editing this one. Okay, now I have to find Sydney. Where did she go?
Yeah.
Sydney Cabane.
I lost my resume.
An underwater lab.
It was an underwater.
Hello.
What?
Whoa.
Hello.
Boom.
Hey Rebecca, have you seen the resume we were given?
This was not a nowhere near enough time.
Look at this resume.
And there was initially like a copy pasted image of like reverse text that we had to decipher.
You know, I will
That's what it
say
looked
1
like.
minute left. Even though should have ended. We'll give people a little bone. Sydney, did you want to go through and choose the best one, or display them all and be like, let's talk about it?
I feel like we could just like from what I've seen, like we could definitely just like briefly summarize like the good things people did and then like what some people forgot. Like no one added an objective, so.
True.
You have an objective here?
Yeah, there was an objective. It's just to grow as a person.
Grow as a
It's a good objective. It's not good for like applying to anything though.
That was my
It's a good life objective.
Yeah,
It's not,
that was
Yeah, you know, like a good like read it every day. It's an affirmation.
Hello.
Accidentally clicked on group 1. I think I just can't read, and I've been editing group 1 the whole time.
Okay. You're room 2. Someone was editing group 2 because group 2 is no longer purple.
Not me. I guess I did one. I don't understand why, but someone made it not purple.
That was me.
Then this does look much better than what you were given. So,
It was a lot to unpack. We did our best.
you can just be a honorary group 1 member.
I'm sorry.
Okay, well, it is time. Breakout rooms must end. Hello, everyone. What did you guys think of that resume?
They were perfect. We couldn't change anything.
It definitely stood out.
It was unique.
I agree. I think it was already good the way it was. Who doesn't love word art?
It's nostalgic.
Come on. Add some colors to your resumes, everyone.
Paula
Some
says that
vivid, hallucinatory colors.
a little trippy, yeah. Hala is very sure that group 7 won. Christopher does not agree. What does Sydney say?
I say you guys were way more invested and committed to fixing that resume than I would have ever guessed. So hats off to you guys. You really took on that challenge. Looking at them now, you guys all really captured that formatting is big. Everything looks clean. Everyone I see group 7 made Jacob Smith really big, put emphasis on the character. I see group 4 did a great job utilizing their space. And group 5 looks like they added a really nice objective. So everybody took something good away from this, so I'm happy.
So did anyone have any specific questions or questions about the resume that they just fixed that they would like to ask?
I actually have one question about the dean's list. What is kind of the accepted opinion of that, and how do you even spell out what that is if it doesn't really say anything except you did well in your classes, which the GPA kind of already says?
That's a great question, Alexander. I would generally agree with you that you don't want to come off, too like brainly in the sense that, oh, my GPA is high and I got an award for it kind of thing. Space is a limited commodity in a resume because it can only be a page. So, use an award or an honor that kind of showcases a different talent.
So I know that different universities do it differently. Some do it by you have a 3.0 or a 3.5 or higher, and other ones do it more by you're in the top whatever percent. So it may be worth specifying how your university, instead of just saying dean list, say I'm in the top 10% of my class or something like that. But of course, if you're already sitting at a 4.0 out of a 4.0, it's a little, I would say that's unnecessary to put. It's you've already shown that you are obviously doing very well in your classes. So if it's not really adding anything more to your application, usually you don't want to waste space with it.
Should we go ahead and move on to our last little mixer plug for the night? I can share my screen.
Why, thank you, Sydney. So this has been the resume workshop. So I hope you guys are feeling more prepared to write resumes, but also not too scared about them. You feel a little bit more able to go back, either start your own resume or write a new one that you will be happy with. But we also have events every day for this week. So tomorrow we're having a workshop on researching research. So a lot of undergrads really just don't know how to even find labs. So it's about how to find labs, how to find what you're passionate about, how to figure out what kind of research you're interested in, what kind of lab would be a good fit for you, just navigating, finding your passions, some things like that. There's also our tech director, Olivia, has put together a lot of resources to help you find those things. There's a research directory. There are videos with interviews with investigators at the University of Florida talking about their own journeys and advice that they have for you guys. Not to give away too many spoilers, but I think it's a very valuable workshop, especially if you're just starting your research journey. Then Wednesday, for UF students only, there is a networking social with University of Florida investigators. They're basically people who have labs at the University of Florida or in Gainesville. So like we have people from the USDA coming, and you can network with them, talk to them about their research. So you can kind of find someone who you might be interested in researching with. Thursday, we are having a workshop run by our other outreach coordinator, Hala, and it's going to be about how to reach out to an investigator, how to get an interview, what to do on the interview, kind of bridging that gap between finding a lab that you're interested in and actually getting a position in it. And then Friday, Mariana, our DEI chair, is going to be running a panel with researchers in STEM about diversity, equity, and inclusion in research. And how their identities, their cultural backgrounds have affected their professional lives and the way that they view life and research. So they're all really, really great opportunities, especially for you guys just starting your research journeys. If you have any questions for me about them, I will be here on the line. All of the workshops, so Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, will be on the same Zoom call link. You all should have gotten an email with the links, and then Wednesday it'll be run on a platform called Hopin, and that should also, you should have gotten an email about that. But thank you guys so much for coming to today. I hope it's made you feel a little more prepared, and I hope to see you guys later in the week. Of course, if you guys have questions, stick around.
Oh, Rebecca, I think someone asked where we can find the recording for this later.
The recording, the first couple minutes of it are cut off, but all of like the real information for what's in a resume is all in there. You can find it on our website. If you search like UF Chemistry Club website on Google, it'll come up. It's saacs.chem.ufl.edu, I believe.
Oh, my screen is, okay, there we go.
But yes, all of the presentations and the recordings will be posted online, so you guys can come back and review this when looking over your own resumes. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, thoughts about labs, feel free to drop them.
Okay. Just a quick question about like the differences between when someone asks for a resume versus a CV, because I know CVs are just more like when you have more experience and you have more like publications, that's what that's for, right?
I have strong feelings about this.
Okay.
So Sydney probably can answer it better than me. A lot of times, professors, since they're like, 50-year-olds, really are much more used to calling them CVs because they, the people that they're around, their colleagues, their peers have CVs, which is just a list of like every accomplishment, everything they've published, all of those things, which obviously your CV as an undergrad is very short if it exists. So what I have found a lot of times when a professor is talking about a resume, they'll refer to it as a CV. But Sydney, what say you?
No, definitely. Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Yeah, undergrads don't have CVs. That's like a grad student thing. Yeah.
Out of our depth.
Out of the scope of our presentation.
Okay, thank you, thank you.